Hello, Life Groups. This is Pastor Alex, and we are here to share with you the big topic or the big idea for our discussion this week. Last week, we had a great sermon from Pastor JaNay, and it was all about joy. We're in the middle of our sermon series, Inside Out, where we're talking about working through and dealing with our God-given emotions in a healthy way. So tonight, I'm just going to ask JaNay a couple questions, and she's just going to share with us some more insight as we discuss the topic of joy. So the first question I want to ask you is, just knowing you for as long as I have, you are just a naturally happy person. You're naturally kind of joyful, right? So, but for someone who isn't naturally like that, like for someone who struggles with being critical or frustrated or irritated or angry or whatever, like me, how do you tap into that joy when you're just not feeling like it? When something's frustrating you, when something's making you mad, when something's making you sad, how do you just find joy in that kind of circumstance?
No, I definitely hear you. There's definitely certain personalities that kind of lean towards joyful outlooks more than others. But the thing is life and the difficulties of life don't really bypass anyone. And so I think we don't always see everyone in all of their life, in all the parts. And we know that sorrow or pain or hardships, disappointment, don't bypass people all the time. And so someone and different people are going to be hit at different times. And so even when your personality is more prone to a joyfulness, we can know and we see through the word that when anyone is connected to the source of joy, everlasting joy, the joy that the Bible talks about, that is part of God's kingdom, they can have that joy. And it doesn't always look like jumping or skipping or just having a huge smile on your face all the time, but it's more that assurance that He is God, that He's in control, that He loves you, and that He's doing something incredible, even in the midst of pain.
But how do I do that? What happens when I'm sitting in my car and I'm angry, when I just get an email and I'm about to lose my mind and my heart starts beating and my throat tightens up, and what are my practical steps?
Okay, good. Well, I do love practical because I think it brings it down to earth. Sometimes things seem a bit ambiguous, but I think the first thing that you can do, or anyone watching this, is set their mind on Him. Yeah. So I think the very first thing is whatever emotion you're feeling, whatever grief or pain or whatever, go immediately to Him and hash it out with Him. Because even by doing that, even when you're pouring out the worst and you're angry, maybe you're even angry at God, you're setting your mind, you're looking to Him instead of something else. And we know that ultimately He is greater than any circumstance. And He's the only one that is greater than any circumstance. He's the only one that stays the same through every circumstance. And so I think it's really important that we set our minds on Him. And in that, we start to look at what He has already done, who He is, what is His character. He's good, how He's moved in our lives before, and we begin to praise Him and rejoice and say, this is who I know You are, even if I'm not feeling it right now. And so I think that that's the first key to really starting to know joy, even in pain, sorrow, grief, disappointment, those things that are really hard in life.
Do you personally ever struggle with that? Like, do you ever get in places of your life where you're like, no, I'm mad, I'm upset, I'm not joyful, I don't want to be joyful? It's hard to pull yourself out of it?
Definitely, but I think that as you go on this journey and you stay connected to that source and you know where your source of everything comes from, the more you set your mind on Him in all the different circumstances of life, it's like training, cell memory, right? So you begin to go to Him quicker the next time and quicker as you see Him work through that. So I think it's the more you do it, the more you see that, man, this is where I'm going to go. Why would I try that? I tried it last time and it didn't work. The only thing that works, the only thing that brings me true joy, even in the midst of hard things, is God and His presence in my life, and His Spirit.
Yeah. Well, that's really, really good, JaNay. All right, guys, I know that the discussion this week is going to be incredible. Remember, no matter what the circumstance looks like, that doesn't change that we can set our mind on Christ and what He's done for us and what He's doing for us and His promises for our life. And that's where true joy comes from. I know you're going to have a very fruitful discussion. Can't wait to hear about all the great things that happen in our life groups in Jakarta this week. We'll talk to you soon. Bye.